Welcome to the A to Z Golfing Podcast presented by AM Golf Trips. Follow the entire 2023 schedule at amgolftrips.com and swagseries.com. Andy Cezanne he's on a cruise. He's just living the life out there. This is kind of like a cool little episode to do to see you on vacation, my friend.
Nice little background we got here. We got ocean here, some clouds, some skies, having fun with the wife. It's just nice to reconnect every now and then. You recharge the batteries. Just finished actually a couples massage about 10 minutes ago, and then I had to come see your lovely face and everyone else here. Of course, I'll do it for all of us for fam.
Well, this is a PG show, so I don't know how far we want to go into the couples massage, but
yeah.
It's good to see you and the missus having a great time. Been trying to follow along this trip as much as I can. Normally, it's like a barbecue fest that I'm following, and you're baking nut-free cakes and stuff like that. So it's good to see that you're far away from the sun too. You know, you're right at sea level.
I've been slowly trying to get the tan up so I don't have to when I come back with the white lights on me, I can look a little more olive like your skin color there. So that's what the goal is.
I'll tell you what, man, you're going to need a really good bronzer if you're going to turn that white skin into olive skin. I'm going to tell you that right now.
That could be very true. So what you been up to, bud? How you been golfing a lot?
I went out a few times. I've been out a few times. You know, obviously, one of the things that we'll go over is, Andy and I were fortunate enough to take out two of our close friends recently. We played a little match out at Elgin Country Club. It was fantastic. And, it got me thinking a lot about some of the things that we've talked about on these podcasts. And one of the things, we've gone into length about, we've gone into rules, we've talked about contests and stuff like that. So we'll get into that in a little bit. This downtime has been great. I know we talked about it on the previous episode, but being home for 7 straight weeks and now, getting over to Harbor Shores, which is a favorite golf course of mine, is also kind of in our backyard before we really get into another part of our schedule that's going to include a trip to New York, quick turnaround and get up to Sand Valley for the swag event and then back out to Colorado. So, the downtime has been fantastic, putting everything in order for the rest of the year and getting some things in order for the national championship is super exciting. So, I think it's been a good portion of the schedule. I'm really enjoying it. Looking forward to some of these events coming up that are going to have sort of new areas. New York and Colorado are kind of new areas for us. We were at Bethpage last year, Turning Stone this year. Different part of New York. So I'm really excited about that and looking forward to meeting some new people. Been getting a lot of messages from people excited for Turning Stone, so on and so forth. And I think that's sort of the catalyst, right? I mean, we're doing really well with getting people to the national championship. That looks like it's going to be an amazing time at Big Cedar. Really looking forward to it.
Yeah, I get plenty of emails daily about, the lodging and the schedule and everything for Big Cedar because everyone's trying to get their preparation ready to go for it. A lot of excitement about it. We got a lot of the first, second, and third places coming, a couple of fourth places, but I mean, we got that field is stacked right now. I get emails daily also of people saying, "How do I get in?" I said, "Well, I need an open spot first to get you in."
Yeah,
we've been filling it up with all the winners and everything, so it's exciting. People are excited. There's a nice buzz going around about it.
Yeah, it's really cool. Also, for people out there that don't know, I mean, for us, once the schedule is set for 2023, like it was, we really start to look for 2024, and it's been good. A lot of good feedback and a lot of good stuff as we travel around the country and figuring out the real key areas to go and the golf courses and the setups and what people want and what people don't want. I was really impressed with a few of the things at Ivanhoe, being able to have the patio afterwards and have everybody there and see how many people stuck around. Right. A little bit of food, a little bit of music that was going on that people were playing, and just to bring all those people together was amazing. That's the kind of stuff that it's really cool. Like, I'm really looking forward to seeing Turning Stone with the casino resort and the amenities there and being around the new base and then getting out to TPC Colorado. But sprinkled in between that, of course, is an area that we've been to a few times in Sand Valley. Mm-hmm. And, I know there's still a few spots available. I believe the last time I checked the website, for anybody that was on the fence about it, to be able to go up there and be able to do stuff under the lights, and be a part of the gifting for the players and do some really cool putting competitions and stuff like that, and really showcase both brands, not only swag, but the time and the effort that's gone into the lodging setups and the rooms and the stuff like that for our people and their people is going to be really cool. And looking at some of the names on the list, it's just like a swag series event. You look at the list and you're like, haven't met 70% of these people, right? So it's going to be really cool when we get up there to see all these people come together.
Yeah, definitely. We'll see some old faces, some new faces. Like you said, I mean, I know you're in group chats like I am for everything, and there's still people like they're 50-50 on the Sand Valley. I was like, you better hustle this up because it's coming up and it's gonna be done pretty soon here.
You know, I find it kind of funny when I'll get a message or something about like the event, right? It's
Still
like
working. Okay.
people have
I
seen
found this on the
Hazeltine.
web for everything, and he's still people.
Oh,
Yeah.
we've got a third member of the podcast.
That was the computer decided to start talking. I think Siri thought we were talking to her.
Got it going on. I thought Tony Stark created like a program over there or something like that. It's just going to be a new member of the podcast.
Sorry about that.
It's going to be animated Andy. It's going to be the artificial intelligence Andy.
We're doing a podcast in the middle of the ocean. Just bear with me a little bit.
It's to me sometimes kind of funny because people will be like, well, what do you think the event's going to be about? And I kind of have this passive aggressive sarcasm sometimes. And I'm just like, well, did you see Hazeltine? Well, did you see Big Cedar? Oh, did you see Vegas? And it's still like, they're like, oh yeah, we saw it, but we were just wondering. And it's like, listen, it's so hard to direct people. Like the events speak for themselves. The golf is the golf. The experience with the people is unmatched. And I think that is really, tangibly, we know that people go to get the gifting. We know that people go to meet people for the first time. So it's kind of cool being in the middle of all that and answering some of those questions. But also, I mean, having the trust and the faith in Swag Golf is so amazing because they're just going to knock it out of the park. And then also with us, that sort of relationship that we've built with them where they know that we're also going to knock it out of the park. And once you have those two things come together, I don't really see how any of these questions really pertain to anything outside of just like reassuring somebody that it's going to be a great time.
It's worth it. Yeah. And that's the thing. Cause sure, it's a decent chunk of money for people. And, for us, we can say it's worth it because we know the work that we put in, we know the work they put in. So for anytime I get that question, I say, yeah, it's going to be worth it for you. Like you also got a tough leg. Oh, go ahead.
No, I think it's kind of like the same regard of questions we answer about our trips, right? I mean, there's only so much that you can tell anybody about, hey, this is the golf, this is the amount of money, here's what's taken care of for you. And it's not until you actually go and experience it. Like it's not the questions from the people that have been to an event already, right? I mean, they know that once they step on the property, they know that everything is going to be taken care of from the golf to if there's a dinner correspondence, if we're doing a short course and stuff like that. Everything gets relayed to the players. And I think you just need to experience that. It's basically what I've been telling everybody about Kiawah. I've been getting questions about Kiawah Island. It's like, listen, just get to the island. Like you don't have to worry about anything else once you're on I don't really know like what else to tell people. It's like if you want the information on the overall event, it's on the website. If you're having problems reading it and you need a reassurance, I'm just going to tell you the same thing that's on the website. But it's really cool to see like the new people, like Andreas coming out to Bandon Dunes, and subsequently he was a part of Olympia Fields. He was a part of Ivanhoe, and just talking to him, he's always talking about like making more events fit into his schedule and the experiences. And that's somebody that's relatively new to golf. And those are the experiences that are really cool as you get to know people.
Yeah, he was actually real excited. He messaged me to get the link again for the shirts and stuff, the swag series shirts. Yeah. So he hit him up with that. So he's gonna join our pink or black shirt company or shirt family that we got going.
And for anybody out there that's worried about the low inventory, it's going to be restocked very soon. Hopefully everybody understands how that all works. There's a process that goes through with ordering, and there's a process that goes through with setting it all up and getting it on the website. So throughout the course of the year and for the rest of the year, if you've missed out on a size or something like that, you will have a repeated opportunity to get yourselves one of those before the end of the 2023 season. And hopefully, if you're coming to the national championship, you and your partner both have them, because that would be kind of cool to see how many teams go black, how many teams go pink. So it'll be really cool. But it's really fun, and it's a good time, and it's also great to get out on the golf course with these people. And I brought it up earlier about being able to take out Brian and Eric to Elgin and play this little 2-man match that we had that culminated after all the hard work that you and Brian did to win the front. And
we kind of let the back fall through our fingers a little bit there.
You know what? But it's competitively, it's cool, because I've had this conversation many times on here, trying to play competitive golf for as long as I did, and then now really just being like, just having a good time and go out and have fun. It's really the only reason why I play. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of, to give you an idea, I didn't sign up for the club championship at my club, and it has nothing to do with not wanting to be a part of it. It's just that, there's 16 positions this year. It requires 3 matches before you get to the final, or I should say the semifinal. I love the competition, but it's just like, if it doesn't fit, it's like so beyond. I would rather have this match to where I'm playing with three of my friends and watching you play really good golf, and then subsequently Brian trying to give you a swing lesson out there, which I found, Eric and I found to be very funny. But Barnsley's a good guy. But I think it's that, like, you have such a great time with your friends out on the golf course, and you really and I think that's kind of that mindset changing has also been the development of what we've done in the series, right? There's so many different things about it. There's wanting to be competitive, wanting to be there because it's the partnership with Swag Golf, and it's a fine line. Like, we see it. There's the super competitive people. There's the people that are competitive and have a great time. There's the people that could care less. And I think that's all in the fun. Like, I truly don't really care anymore how I play or what happens, as long as I'm having a good time out there. We have some people that we're super close to, and they're super competitive. George Tudor, who wants to compete all the time and wants to play the best. And that's, that's such a great time out there. But the match was awesome. I mean, you guys went up, you guys won the front, then you guys got to 4 up. We did a little 2-man Ryder Cup, and then we worked our way back. It all ended on 18. Eric made like a 35-footer to give us a par to tie you. I had a chance to win the match with like a 6 or 7-footer that lipped out, and it was cool. And I think Brian said it the best. It's like, you're out here for 4 hours, and at the end of it, it's nobody won anything, right? And I think that's the cool part of the story, right?
Yeah, we had a great time, and there was ups and downs on it. I had a good front there. I think I shot 41 on the front, but then the back kind of fell apart. Eric struggled a little bit on the front, but then his back, he had a couple holes that was just monster for him, getting some pars when he needed to.
Yeah. I mean, you guys definitely let us back in a little bit easier. I mean, I have the scorecard in front of me. So, I think that's also a part of the reason why, if I'm not mistaken, it was on the 12th tee box when you were getting your swing lesson. We're not here to throw anybody under the bus, but, should have been the other way around. I think at some point you should have stepped in and were giving out swing lessons that day.
Told Barnesy where to go. He almost, and I don't know if you, he was a little bit all over the place on his tee shots, but he was trying to make it up there. We missed a short putt. What was that, on 16? That probably would have tied a hole, or we took a hole, but I think we tied it. Barnesy might have missed that putt, but I also 3-putted from that one too, so that didn't help him out very much.
It didn't. I hooked a tee shot on 10, almost onto the 18th fairway. Which is, not too many people have been out there. It's pretty impressive. It's about a 70-yard hook. To which point I decided to probably hit the best 3-wood of my entire life up over 2 sets of trees and get it back in position, but we lost that hole. It's the really cool part of having a little bit of competition, right? I mean, you could play bad, but you could have a couple stretches like, he had a stretch on, Brian had a stretch on 10 and 11 where he made a birdie on a par 5 and he made a par on
Right.
11. And, that was what won the holes. And I just think it's really cool. I mean, it doesn't matter who I take out. I try to take out as many guests as humanly possible.
Yeah.
I had a fun time out there this past week with Joe Puccio and George, and I know George didn't stick around the whole time, but we were just having a good time out there. And it's a nice time of the year too out at the club because it's not too many tee times. The course is in amazing condition, but it's still like really cool to see somebody like putt a ball off a green or do something crazy. It's super cool.
Was Joe? How did Joe putt there? Was he leaving anything short, or was he going long on it all?
It's really just, it's always the case out there. You bring people out there for the first time it's not Joe's first time, but it's not like he plays there every week. Right. So it's a different formula. We've talked about this numerous times. Like you certain courses, you try to help people out. Like certain putts are going to be super slow, and then you'll have like a 4-footer above the hole that's super fast. But you just don't realize it. You don't realize how that golf course you have to be in such position. And I'll give you an idea. I was fortunate enough to play Windstone a couple days ago. I had a meeting out at Windstone, and I got to go out on the golf course. We've played Ridgemore as well, and Ridgemore is really not a position golf course, right? I mean, the greens are super fast, but it's a flat golf course. It's kind of wide open. You don't really ever get out of position at Ridgemore. And it was the same at Windstone. Like the greens were so big that I did obviously just got out of the meeting and went out on the golf course, but it's like I hit a couple wayward shots and I was like, wow, there's areas to like chip the ball and play an actual shot. To me, the only thing I'm going to miss about the club championship is the fact that, to me, Elgin is not a very good stroke play course. It's an awesome match play course.
Oh, yeah.
Because you can really get out of position, or on the other side, you could hit a couple like terrible shots and be in such a, like, if you realize that you're in such a good position. I think for me, like playing to like a scratch level, it allows me the opportunity that when I'm out there, I have this sort of way around the golf course where like I really truly never get out of position because there's only a few holes like where you could totally be out of position, or like I could literally hit a shot. I'll usually use the word dead because you are dead, right? So really cool. And like as we've gone across the country, like playing other golf courses and stuff like that, when I took a few of the guys down to Concession in Florida, it was very similar. Now that was a golf course that was expansive, like big fairways, big greens, but you got around the greens. If you were short-sided, you were dead. Like, and it was almost every hole, right? So competition-wise, I think that is what I will miss the most about the club championship. Because I think last year, the first couple matches, I kind of dinked it and dunked it around and let everybody else get out of position. And, they're all members, but I think it's the difference in knowing who you're playing against and stuff like that. And, I think that translates over to like some of the things that we see when we watch scoreboards, right? I mean, we always watch the scoreboards and we're like, oh, this team's got a chance or this team's got a chance. And like, this is the holes that they're finishing on and stuff like that. So, I just love all that stuff. I love it.
Are you a scoreboard watcher when you play? Like, so we've seen teams have like a 3 to 4 stroke advantage on themselves. And then I think they scoreboard watch and then they drop back down, and sometimes they win by 1 or they lose by 2 or 3. When they're on like the 12th hole, they could be up by 2 or 3 and then they come back down to reality.
I think it depends. One day events, obviously haven't played any of the Swag Series events.
Right.
But last year when it was the AGT series and I got to play, I would probably go about like 9 holes, right?
Yeah.
And I think within those 9 holes, like if you're playing well, you kind of understand where you're at. So maybe I wouldn't look until a little bit later. But if you're playing bad, then I don't look. If you're kind of in the middle, I would peek. But like on the trips, no. I think the first time that Andrew and I looked at National was, I think it was like after maybe 27 holes or 30 holes. And I don't think it was to the point, I think it was just to get an idea. That's where the infamous thing came up, where we were trying to teach him about like having a chance to win the gross and not the net, because he's like, oh, we got to be doing good in net. And I'm like, well, I have 11 straight pars, but we're not getting any shots on those holes. So subsequently, you look at the leaderboard. I think after 2 rounds, I think we were 1 or 2 back. But I think that's when we started looking. I was like, oh, we're only 3 shots out of gross, or we're 2 shots out of gross. And then we end up being like 4 shots out of net. And he's like, I don't know what you're talking about. So I don't know. I think it varies. Oh, now we've got 3 cameras going on here. Oh boy. We have officially lost Andy Cezanne. He is definitely trying to do something out there in the Caribbean. We don't really know. But sometimes it's a little better that he's not on the show, for people out there. Obviously you've seen his input sometimes, and it's normally fantastic. Sometimes we like to get on him. So we're just going to keep recording, and that way Andy at the end of this can figure out what the hell's going on, see where we left off.
Sorry, everyone, for who's listening and watching. Had a little technical difficulties out here. So we're back at it. I'm trying to get this thing. There we go. We're just going to go like this for the rest of this one.
Keep going.
No, I just wanted to apologize. I feel bad. There's nothing I can do here about that one. But, I want to talk to all the people here. Or I want you to talk to all the people and just have everyone listen here, really.
Well, I mean, obviously, currently there must be. I see like 2 puffs of clouds out there. So it looks like the sun is completely gone. Andy's in the shadows now. We don't really know what's going on. We feel as though an apology is due, but only from Andy. Only from Andy, because I'm definitely not going to apologize.
You don't have anything to apologize for. It's my fault.
So we got some good stuff. I have absolutely zero clue where we left off before the technical difficulties. I've been in and out of this show booth like 4 times, so we might as well just keep going with it. All right, Andy, what is on the docket for the rest of the trip?
Let's see. What do we have today? Today's Monday, right? I've lost track of days here. Monday. We have a show at 1:15, something around the world in 80 minutes. No clue what it's about, but the wife wanted to see that. We got painting and booze at 4 something. A lot of dinner and food, and then another show later tonight. Oh, then it's Scarlet Night. I guess everyone's got to wear red, and it's just a big party for the whole rest of the trip. So, yeah, I mean it's just trying to be part of the island life here.
You look like Hollow Man right now. Do you remember that movie from like I think it was the 90s? You look like Hollow Man right now.
Is that when he has like
tinted? It's like you're in grayscale. Yeah, I think it's the one where he's like all wrapped up like a mummy, but he's like always in the shadow.
Yeah, is that the one?
It's like grayscale. What?
Wasn't Chevy Chase in one, like an Invisible Man or something like that?
No idea. I have no clue.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like you're grayscale. I mean, I don't know at this point if we do figure out a way to have artificial intelligence Andy on the podcast.
Yeah.
Might be the next thing that we have to do.
Right. Yeah, no, it's possible, but we'll find it out. We've gone off the rails again here. Right? No, we're just going to sign this one off more than likely and call it a day. What are you up to the rest of the week?
Just getting ready for Harbor Shores.
Yeah.
We'll be getting ready for that. We'll be getting ready also for Turning Stone. Trying to coordinate exactly when I'm going to leave for that event because I am driving. We got a little bit of logistical stuff that we got to handle to get stuff to Sand Valley, which is going to be okay. I'm not as young as I used to be when it comes to driving across the country, but we'll definitely plan it out and have a good time. And so looking forward to it. Looking forward to the little 2-week stretch here where it's going to be quite busy. I'm missing a few really cool things back at home, so I'm not too happy about that. Couple trips that the family's got going on, but it's going to be a good time. Get the end of the schedule really rolling, and then closing in on that national championship is going to be a great time.
Love it.
All right, so Andy wants to sign off, so we're going to sign off the Hollow Man. I don't know what's going on. He's going to have one hell of a time editing this. That's all I'm going to say. He better do a fantastic job. If anybody has any questions or concerns about this podcast, it's Andy C at amgolftrips.com. He would love to hear from you about this.
Yeah.
I mean, he could have just went in his room where there's actually light, but we won't hold it against him.
Yeah. So thanks everyone for listening. We'll see you at the next one. Have a good day.
Take care.